everybody. Thank you for joining. This may not be the best live video ever, but I'll do my best, and hopefully the Wi-Fi won't cop out on me. But in any case, thank you. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll try to maybe do another recorded video and put it up. So in the meantime, let's give this a try. So let's begin. Let's start with the eyes closed. Go inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you're becoming one with all beings. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always acquire a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So now let's do the mantra for purification. If you know it, you can do it along with me, of course. If not, just imagine you're chanting through the voice of the Guru. You drive all the benefits of the purification of the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. 3 times, each one try to do it in single breath and do it loud enough so it can be heard by the subtle bodies within and all around us as well. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Sti. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Sti. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Sti. So let's just do sound breathing next, or color breathing is also known as. So imagine, if might have heard before, that the Om is made up of all the colors, vibrations, and sounds of the universe. So what we're going to do is imagine how we're breaking that up, Om up into each of its constituents. And we concentrate on each of those colors, each of those tones and vibrations, so as to make them even more powerful. And we have a healing effect with this as well. So if you direct your attention to certain areas of the body with that sound, then it'll help to bring healing to that area in yourself and in others. So this is also a good technique for increasing our aura, which is our protection against psychic attacks, which is ultimately just negative energy that's directed towards you, whether it's intentional or unintentional. It's like a big force field around us. You can imagine a big sphere that's warding off all this negative energy. So let's begin. Starting at the lower 3 chakras, lower 3 energy centers, which is at the root, the sacral area, and the navel. The color is red. We just allow the sound to carry through on the breath until we run out of the breath. So take your attention there, in that lower part of the body. Inhale. Next, moving up to the heart, the color is green, bringing about emotional and physical healing of the heart. Take a deep breath in, a higher pitch this time. You inhale. Base of the throat, the color is blue, the sound is so. Remember that all the words come out of the throat should always be ones of loving kindness and compassion. Inhale. So. The space between the eyebrows, the center of the forebrow, the sound is E. Picture the color blue there. This is also the area where you find the pituitary gland, which regulates the whole endocrine system, so it brings about rate and health of all the glands in the body. Inhale, sound E. Stay in the same area, just maybe a little bit behind it. The third eye, we call it. And here we're picturing another, the shade, we're picturing a color indigo. And in that area, we're also humming the sound sun, S-U-N. Concentrate on the latter part of the sound, the end part of it that produces vibrations. These vibrations, imagine them strong enough to dislodge all the impurities from wherever they're sitting in a body. Imagine them going out into the bloodstream and out of the body eventually. Sound sun, indigo, inhale. Sun. Finally, the crown. The color is violet, and the sound is sum. And the action of pressing your lips together and concentrate in that area of the body, the crown, and finding the pitch that we can feel it there will produce vibrations that help to improve mental sharpness and clarity. Inhale. Sum. To allow yourself to continue to hear the lingering sounds, feel the lingering vibrations. Now just picture the symbol Om, however you want to picture it. Maybe it's like a clear diamond type of image, maybe it's like a big golden Om. Just fix your mind on that image. Just try to feel the vibrations of that Om. Imagine it resonating within you. And imagine also the sound, a celestial sound that's made up of all the tones, all blending together to form a harmonious sound, a beautiful sound, like it's coming right from the earth. Imagine that healing you and bringing healing to all beings everywhere. fix your mind on that healing, beautiful, resonant Om that is representative of the infiniteness of God that is within all of us, all beings, all the same. No you, no me. Just that divine essence. So now let's celebrate that divinity that exists in all beings through the imitation of the forms, through the practice, the asana practice. So let's begin. Let's come to standing. I'll put on my glasses again so I can see. All right, so now bring the hands to the heart center. Remember to dedicate the practice to all beings. Renounce all the fruits of the practice. Imagine them going out to all beings everywhere. Think of this as your divine obligation. So now let's raise your arms up over the head. The palms slightly turned up, the feet slightly apart, about 10 inches apart here. Spiritual breathing from the fingertips. Inhale down through the arms into the heart. 2, 3, 4. Pull in the best from the universe. 6, 7, 8. Hold it all in the heart. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the fingertips. 2, 3, 4. Just a breath leaves everything that you pulled in stays in. 7, 8. Again, inhale down through the arms into the heart. All the best, everything that you need. 3, 4, 5. Feel it flooding you. 7, 8. Hold it all in the heart, the spiritual heart, located in the center of the chest and the right side of the physical heart. Exhale out through the arms again, just the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale everything that you need down into the spiritual heart from the fingertips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it in the heart as an offering to God and to all beings as a result. Exhale out the fingertips. 2, 3, 4. Everything again that you pulled in stays within. 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down now, and we'll continue some exercises to prepare the body for the practice. Start to swing from one side to the other. Feel as though the arms are heavy ropes. And then start to move your shoulders faster. Feel as though the arms are dead. Allow the head to fly in all the directions. And then start to slow it down. And then bring the hands on the hips. Circle the head. Make large circles as possible. The ears touching the shoulders. The chin coming right onto the chest. The back of the head brushing across the top of the back. And then switch the direction of rotation. Try to see the floor all the way around you, no matter which way the head is turning. Now, the right arm circles forward. Feel as though you had a weight of 5 pounds in your hand. Allow your arm to swing more easily. Weight. Go backwards. If you're having trouble with your shoulders, you can also support with your left hand. And then the other arm, left arm forward. And then go backwards. Make like you're winding up to throw a ball. Now, arms out to the side, swing the right leg back and forth. You can always hold on to a wall or a chair. Try to swing the leg up, let the hip be loose. And then the other side. Lean forward a little bit, so get the knee right to the shoulder. And then release. take the arms up over the head. Take hold of the opposite elbows and bend to your left. Come up, go to the right. Try not to make folds in the underside of the body. Go to your left again. Pull on the elbows. Go to the other side. And then coming up. And from here, little circles. Trace little circles over top of the head. Mostly the neck, head and shoulders are moving. Then gradually increase the size of those circles and in the upper back and top of the back, the chest. If you feel apt to do so, make full circles now, like a big windmill. Allow the forearms to brush right across the feet. And then coming back up and go to the other direction. Starting again, little circles over the head. And then gradually getting larger. Adding in the upper back and the chest. And then, if you feel apt to do so, the full circle of the trunk. Fold the body right in half, hinging at the hips. And then coming back up. Release. Shake out the wrists, move the fingers very, very rapidly. Again, no control over the hands whatsoever. They're moving all by themselves. And then up and down like the wings of a hummingbird. Moving so fast like a blur, can't even see them. And then release. Move the mat over a little bit. Okay, so now let's begin. The hands at the heart center. Surya Namaskara. Think of the words from the Bhagavad Gita. Knowledge is better than practice. Meditation is better than knowledge. Renunciation of the fruits of action is better than meditation. Peace immediately follows such renunciation. Renounce all the benefits now. Do the practice simply because it must be done. Do it for all beings everywhere. Let's raise the arms up over the head, reach up over the head, nice and stretch the arms back. Come forward and down, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs, head down. Take the right foot back, lower down the knees, sink down to the seat. Then come into high plank. Bring the knees down, the seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward, tug at the floor of the arms like you're trying to pull the floor towards you. Raise the chest, bring the head back. Bhujangasana. Cobra, come all the way back again. Glide between the arms. Smoothly raise the head, arch the back. One more time, take the seat all the way back and glide forward. Brush the nose to the ground, lift the head, open up the chest, nice and wide. Now roll over your toes back into downward facing dog. Lift the seat, allow the head to come below the arms. Now the right foot steps forward to the hands. If that's difficult, you can lower the back knee down and use your right hand to bring the foot forward if it doesn't make it all the way. Then bring the left foot in to meet the right, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up again, reach up and back. And fold down, don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that the breath will remain steady and even and uniform. Whoops, I did the wrong foot back, sorry. Left foot back. Into the high plank. Lower down the knees, the seat all the way back. Glide forward between the arms, coming into the cobra. Shoulders roll back, head high. And again, all the way back. Pull the body forward. Pull the shoulders back, telescope the neck out of the shoulders. Once again, all the way back. Make a snake creeping through the grass. And then raising his head up to peer out at the world. Imitate the snake on all levels, mentally, physically, and even emotionally. Adho Mukha Savasana. Left foot steps forward, back knee down, sink down to the seat. Feet come together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs, head down. Rise up to stand and reach up over the head. Come back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. Don't worry about the breath. Remember, just move the body. The breath will follow and deliver ease and fluidity and power into the movements. Right foot back, lower down the knee, sink down to the seat. Come into the plank, bring the knees down, the seat back. This time as you come forward, as the hips come between hands, roll over your toes, lift the hips and knees away from the ground. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Allow the heart to melt, hollow out the back body. And the right foot steps forward, back knee down, sink down to the seat. Feet come together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs. Again, head comes down towards the feet. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head. And then back home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms up. And go down. A gesture of humbleness, the head comes down. Left foot back, lower down the knee. Every movement reflects an intention. And back, lower down the knees, seat back. With your head down, eyes downcast, gesture of humility. Coming forward again, lift your hips and knees up off the ground if you can, upward facing dog. Chest open, surrendering to the high self, open yourself up to divine grace. Back into downward facing dog. Left foot forward, back knee down, sink down to the seat. Feet come together, Uttanasana. All the movements done with precision, mindfulness, and reverence. Come back home, hands to the heart. Every movement an expression of divine love. Reach up. Fold down, Uttanasana. Head comes down. Right foot back. Keep the back knee lifted this time. Keep the back leg strong. Into the plank. Bring the seat back, the knees stay up. Here, see if you can swing right through into upward facing dog without lowering your hips and the knees to the ground. If it's too much, just do what we did before. So your knees down and then swing through. Now here, bend the toes under and then make like you're folding your body in half. The hinge at the top of your legs. Push the shoulders back, the nose comes up. Make like a dog howling at the moon. Again, try to imitate the dog. Embrace all its divine qualities. Now push and twist your toes, lift the seat, bring the head down. The head comes down below the arms, so doing this way as you can see, just try to curve the back body as much as you can by bringing the belly to your thighs. Think of the slide at the playground. You want to try to get the shape, the steepness at the top and the shallowness at the bottom of the angle. If you're very flexible, maybe bring the top of the head to the ground. Maybe even a nose, chin, maybe even nose, maybe the chin at some point. Be like a dog loyal to its master. Now from here, right foot forward, back knee stays lifted, press back to the back knee. And send the left foot in to meet the right, Uttanasana again, chest on the thighs. Come right up to stand, reach up over the head. And then return home, always coming back to the source of divine love. At the heart, raise your arms up. And go back, Uttanasana. Head down, left foot back. Again, back knee stays lifted if you can. Modify again according to your condition and your abilities. Back into high plank. If you can, bring the seat all the way back, the knees stay up, and then swing forward. Pull the elbows into the body. Press with the base of the fingers, the heels of the palms, and the base of the toes. Upward facing dog. Now this time, see if you can transition back into downward facing dog. And back and forth we go. So again, roll forward. Imagine trying to push the shoulders, the heart up between your shoulder blades. Arch the back, the chest comes forward right through your heart at the center of the chest. The heart comes forward right through the center of the chest. Back the other way, downward facing dog. Inhale again, come forward, round the back, tuck the chin in, and then coil gracefully. Bring the head back, the shoulders back, the chest forward. Back the other way. Round your back, tuck the chin in, and sink the heart. One more time if you have it in you. Round your back, tuck the tail, and then coil. Allow the head to go up and back the other way. Round the back, tuck the chin, and sink the heart right down. Soften in every sense of the word. And then the left foot steps forward, back knee stays lifted, back leg strong, into Uttanasana again. Body against the legs, head down. Come right to stand, reach up over the head. And come back home, hands to the heart. And raise the arms again. Different variation this time. Fold the body down. Uttanasana. Bend your knees, bring your chest on your thighs, and then see if you can telescope your chest further down the legs. So you're trying to get your chest on, or maybe even beyond, below the knees. If you're very flexible, maybe the seat comes directly over the heels. Press the forehead against the shins. If you can't do that without detaching the body from the thighs, keep your knees bent. Just again, go according to your condition. Do your best. Don't worry about the results. Remove all expectations, all attachments to the results. Good. Now from here, right foot back, lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, sink the seat forward, circle the arms down. Pressing the top of the foot to keep your balance. Inhale, come up. Drop your seat all the way forward, lean away from the leg. And again, come all the way up. Sink down to the seat. Circle the arms down. Keep your seat low this time. Bring your arms up over the head. Rock your shoulders back and forth. Try to pull your arms back behind your ears or beside your ears at least. Keep your arms straight. Make the shape of a crescent moon. Lean away from the leg. Radiate your inner light. And then break the pose. Bring the hands down. Now from here, if you want, you come into high plank. If you have the juice, raise the left leg up. Eka Pada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward into high plank, shoulders over the fingertips. Now those you want, pull the elbows in close to the sides, body, wing the fingertips out. Press them with your toes. Try to bring your chest down first. If it's too much, bring your knee down at the same time so the chest is lowering. And then the feet come down together, right up into upward facing dog again, or cobra. Roll over your toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Raise your right leg up. Reach up as though you're trying to touch the ceiling with your toes, and bring the foot forward between the hands softly. Bring your shoulders forward so the foot doesn't land the big heavy thud. No heavy footfalls. Press the tops of the feet down, the top of the left foot into the ground. Raise your arms up. And again, open yourself up. Inhale, come up. And think again of the intention. Open yourself up to divine grace. One more time. Inhale, come up. Lean away from the leg. Make sure there's no big folds in the lower back or the back of the neck. Keep your seat low. Kapiyasana again. Pull your arms back. So you want to have the back toes flat. Sink your seat all the way forward. Rock your shoulders back and forth if you like. And pull your arms back. Imagine your index fingers going to the back toe, your body level to the ground. It doesn't matter if you don't reach there. Just visualize it. And one day, with faith, perhaps the body will obey. Now we're going to come back. Turn this way because I'm running out of room. And then from here, raise your right leg up if you like, or come into plank. Come forward into high plank. If you have your leg raised, keep your leg up as you bring your chest down. Squeeze your elbows to the sides of the body, the chest, or the knee, left knee can come down at the same time so the chest is lowering. And we meet up into upward facing dog or cobra. Roll over your toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana. The head comes down, the heart comes down. Left leg comes up, Eka Pada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward, shoulders over the fingertips. Place the foot softly between the hands. Back knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up. Pull the arms back, reach back. Lose yourself in the sensations. Imagine all beings experiencing through your body. So you have to practice in a way that is mindful. That will deliver the best experience possible. And then break the pose. Bring the hands down and the left foot in to meet the right. Chest on the thighs. Push the body into your legs. Top of the head comes towards the feet. At any moment, maybe the forehead will press against the shins and the top of the head will touch the top of the feet. Imagine the chest sliding further down below the knees. And then come all the way up to standing. Reach up over the head. Arch back. Come back home, hands to the heart. Good. So one more variation. Raise your arms up over the head. Fold the body down, Uttanasana. Now from here, lift head and chest. You can either hop or walk back into Chaturanga. If you're hopping back, Push into your hands, hold your breath, bend your elbows so you don't land with a big, heavy, jarring motion. Nice and soft like a feather floating down into upward facing dog. And back into downward facing dog. Good. Let's stay here for a moment. Walk your hands, walk forward until you take hold of the edge of the mat and bring the right leg up. See if you can bring the head down to the ground. So you might be able to do it. If you can't, just keep pulling on your edge of the mat and get that same shape of the body. That nice hollowing of the back body. Now if you have the strength to do so, you can see if you can let go of the left hand. Walk it back towards the back foot. So you might be able to take hold of the inside the heel. Or if you can't, just take the arm somewhere along the leg, maybe along the side of the body. Just practice the balance perhaps. If it's too much, keep your left hand on the ground. No big deal. And then from here, release. Try the other leg now. Raise the left leg up. The head comes down behind the hands. Keep pulling on the mat with the edges the edges of the mat. Pull it forward. Push the belly towards the thigh, the chest towards the ground. And here you can see if you can let go of the right hand and see if you can take hold of the inside of the right heel, or again, just bring it somewhere along the side of the foot or the leg. Put the hand on the leg or the side of the body. And from here, release, bring the left foot down. Lift the head back into downward facing dog. You can release the edge of the mat now. And lift the heels, bend the knees up to the hands, hold the breath. Bring your feet forward softly, hopping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head. Hands back to the heart. One more time. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back. Bring the hands down. Good. Now from here, those you can maybe lean forward, rock back and forth, come onto your tippy toes, shoulders come over the fingertips and come back. Keep your arms strong, push right into the ground. If you want, you can hold your breath. See if you can press your seat up over your wrists. Come into tuck. Again. And down. Those once, and the next one you come into chaturanga. Nice and light into upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Again, options here. Round your back, come forward, shoulders over the fingertips, and seat all the way back behind heels. Again, come forward, rounding your back and back. Those who want can take little hops here. Press into your hands, really press down to the base of the fingers, the finger pads and heels, your palms. Bring the knees up into your chest, and then bend and then come down lower, and then hold your breath. See if you can bring your seat up over your wrists. And then maybe at some point, land your feet at the hands, hopping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come right up to standing, reach up over the head. Come back home. Take pause here for a moment. From the solar plexus, your source of your inner power, inhale up to the crown. Send all your power up there. Hold the breath. Imagine going out to all beings so that those who feel weak can feel empowered. Send it out to all those beings, especially who need it. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Remain established in your own source of inner fire. And keep sending out keep that channel open so you can continue to send out your power to all beings. Now release. So now we're going to try to do some balance poses. Starting off with ballet pose. Standing on your left foot. Take hold of the right heel. And then from here, flex the foot and take the foot out to the side. So try to have your fingers and toes on the same line. It might look more like a T shape, more flexible, might look more like a Y. You bring the leg up a little bit higher, lean to your left a little bit so you can get your toes and fingers to stay on the same height. Open it up a little bit. Good, now from here, keep the leg muscles engaged. so that it doesn't drop down heavily. We're going to try to come into another form right from here. Bring your toes down, try not to touch the ground in between. Right into gliding eagle. Bend your left knee so your belly can come onto your thigh, and reach the arms out to the side like the great wings of that great eagle. Imagine you're swooping down from a great height at great speed. Try to get your right leg higher over your head. If you need to, you can always take your index fingers to the ground. If you lose your balance, modify again as you need to. And then from here, press into your left foot, hold your breath. See if you can come right up. If you have to drop your foot down between, don't worry about it. Just again, do your best, visualize yourself eventually doing it without any effort whatsoever. Be like a shapeshifter, moving between the forms effortlessly. Flexing your foot helps to keep the balance. And then release, bring the foot down gracefully. So all the transitions done with fluidity. No jerky motions in between. Try to do it nice and fluidly. Now take your left heel, press the corners of the feet, the edge of the feet into the mat, the toe pads, base of the toes and the heel. Come up into ballet pose. You have to become what you imagine. The graceful ballet dancer, poised, magnificent. Release the foot, again, engage the leg muscles so it doesn't come down, crashing down, and try to keep your foot off the ground as you come forward into eagle. So now you're changing your pose. Just try to tap into all the divine qualities of what you're representing, that great eagle skimming across the surface of the ocean. Again, take your hands to the ground, come down on your knee if you need to. Just find an expression that takes you to the edge of your potential. From here, press into that right foot, hold your breath, see if you can come right back up without touching your foot to the ground. Sometimes it's good to challenge yourself. You never know what you are capable of if you never try. And then from here, release, bring the left foot down. Now we're going to do another one, Adho Chandrasana. So here, if you need a block, you can take a block, or you can come down on your knee. So we're going to take the left foot forward. I better do it this way, maybe this will work better. So take your left foot forward, bring your left hand down, about 14 or 16 inches away from the ground. Raise your right leg up, and open it up. So if you're doing on your knee, just bring your left knee down. So if you can't, I don't have a block, and you can't reach the ground easily without hunching, then take your knee to the ground. Open it up here. Point the toe, try to get your right foot up higher. When you look up, you won't be able to see your foot a little bit out of your line of sight. Now if you want, bend your knee and take hold of the foot. You can bend your left knee as well to help you to shorten your stance a little bit so you can take the foot more easily. Then you push the foot up and away so your knee comes up to the sky. Open it up like you're doing a bow pose. You have good balance, you can look forward. And then from here, you can even take your left hand up off the mat. Hold your breath, take it to the heart. Or pull the foot close to your seat, take hold of the foot with both hands, and push the foot up. Release, bring the left hand down, pull the foot in, and release. Okay, so now try it on the other side. Bring the right foot forward. Bend your knees, you can take the right hand to the ground, and then raise the left leg up. And then bring the arm up. Try to get the foot up nice and high, open up nice and wide. Those you can take the foot now close to the seat, bend your right knee if you need to, and then straighten the leg, push the foot out, and then straighten your leg, your right leg, your standing leg. once the foot is far away from the body, pull the left shoulder back, look over your shoulder. And from here again, if you're more advanced, you have the balance, you can look forward and then hold the breath. Take your right hand up. With the breath retention, you engage all the muscles, and then you might be able to come into the pose more easily. If you want to take both hands to the foot, pull the foot close to your seat, and then push the foot away. Break the pose. Pull heel in towards the seat. Right hand comes back down, and step down. Come back. Okay, now, so come to the back end of the mat. And then from here, step the left foot forward, slide it forward, Virabhadrasana 1. Bring your arms up, bring your head back. Gesture of abject surrender here. Embrace all the qualities of a warrior, embody them. The strength, the power, the courage. Now from here, I'm going to straighten out the front leg, push into the front foot. Take the hands behind the back. Pull the hands down, lift through the chest. Push the right hip forward, left hip moves back so your hips are square. Come down, your belly comes on your left thigh. Your hands come over the head. Imagine trying to get your chest below the knee. Keep creeping it forward. Keep the neck long, don't jam up the back of the neck. Now from here, bend the knee if you can, and then slip off to the right so the shoulder can slip to the inside the foot. Keep your seat low so you can get your head down to the ground, your forehead right beside your foot. If it's too much, you can lower the back knee down to the ground and see if you can get your head closer to the ground or on the ground even. So again, use your creativity to find a form that will suit you. And just offer it up, every pose and offering. Inhale, raise the head up. Take the hands down. So from here, turn forward, back knee down, flatten out the toes. Slide your foot back more on the right foot and then drop, fall to your right. Try to get your right hip in the right form to come down. Roll back to your left so that the left hip can come down equally so that both hips are about the same height from the ground, eventually maybe both on the ground. If your hip is very high from the ground, if you're very tight in the hips, you can just stay on hands, but keep on trying to sink your seat forward. Think of a cobra pose, the same action. If the knee falls away from the body, the shoulder, just move it out. You want to have the left knee in line with the heel, and eventually, if you have the flexibility, your chest comes all the way down. If your hips are anchored down, the rest of the body will follow more easily. The pelvis, the belly, and then the chest will eventually come down, the left shoulder on the left foot. Then from here, come back onto your hands. Push the knee up. So here, cue a couple of options. Pull the left shoulder back and see if you can get your shoulder in behind the knee. Okay, so push against the back of the knee. From here, you can turn to your right. Okay, and bring the right arm up. Now this is one level here. If you can bring the right knee up off the ground. Bend the toes under on the back foot and lift the back knee up off the ground. You can stay like this. If you can, if you bring more weight on your left arm, you can eventually have your left leg sitting on your arm, just wrapped around the top, close to the shoulder. You try to bring your foot up, and you see if you can extend your leg out, pushing into the back of the knee. If you have the ability, more advanced, you take hold of the foot, Visvamitrasana. And from here, bring the foot back down, lower the right knee down, and come up. Okay, so now your legs are like a box here. I'll do it this way first. Bend the toes under on the back foot, right arm up. Angle the toe and knee towards the right, anchor in place with the left hand, and bring the arm across and down. So try to get your armpit to come right to rest on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes into the right firmly until the body comes up. So as you push down, the body comes up, the belly comes higher than the thigh, and then you roll the left shoulder all the way back. Pull the left hip back, the head forward, comes forward. You try and get your shoulders to open up, your chest to open up. Eventually your chest and face are up. If you want, you can try and take a bind. You move your seat back. You can take your left hand to your elbow, and then if you push your seat back, you have more room for the arm to slide underneath. Left hand goes over the back. You pull the hand out from underneath a little bit more, and then you either lock your fingers together, or you can maybe take hold of your wrist, your left wrist with your right hand. Back, next action, hold your breath, take your knee up off the ground. All these are options, go according to your level. Pull the left shoulder all the way back. Keep turning as you exhale, pull left hip back. Back leg stays strong if your knees up off the ground. Then from here, lower the back knee down. Release, hands to the ground. Step back into plank. Okay, so I'm moving that a little bit. Now from here, come into plank. Left hand in front of left shoulder, a little bit in front so the arm can stay extended. Make sure you don't drop into your shoulder and lose your neck. Keep the left arm strong. Your right ankle can stay across in front of the other one. Vasisthasana, right arm comes up. Push your hips forward. If you feel more open, you can, if you have strong through the left arm, you can see if you can take the right arm back. Hips forward, and hips high. Come back to plank, go to the other side. If you need to modify, if it's too much on your wrist, so your arm, too much, demands too much, you can bring the right knee down to the ground. Okay, so the right hand and the right knee in the same line, or the feet in the same line with the right hand. And come up, push your chest forward. If you want, you can pull the left arm back. Stay strong through that right arm, don't drop into the shoulder. Come back into high plank. From here, take the seat back and step the right foot forward. Back foot flat, Virabhadrasana 1. Raise your arms up, bring the head all the way back. Straight line from the base of the spine right up to the fingertips. If you can't turn your left hip all the way, like if it's still stuck with your foot flat on the ground, you can lift your heel up. Try to have the back knee close to the ground. Work your hips a little bit. Now from here, press into the front foot, straighten up. This way, 'cause my foot's sliding off. And then from here, take your hands behind the back. Pull the hands down, lift the chest, square off the hips, left hip comes forward, right hip moves back. And start to bow down. Bend your right knee a little bit if you need to, as you make the transition. Then eventually straighten your leg, push into your toes, send your seat forward, your chest forward. Hands over the head. Now from here, push into the front foot, bend your knee, and then slip your body to the left so you can get your right shoulder to the inside of the knee. Humble warrior. Express the humility of the warrior, those who serve their people without any hesitation. Again, you can bring the left knee down if you need to make it more accessible to you. If your hips are low, you'll be able to get your head closer to the ground. So really sink down through the right hip. Now from here, release, bring the hands down, lower the back knee down, slide your left toes back. See if you can fall to your left to anchor the hip down. Again, if you can't get your hip down because your hips are tight, just stay on your hands, but then see if you can imagine you have rocks in your hip pockets or the pelvis is made of lead and maybe the hips will fall a little bit more. This applies too if you're on the forearms. Roll to the right, keep telescoping your chest forward, the more you lengthen, the more the body comes down again. Make sure your knee's not falling way out to the outside, or this is happening. Your foot is, your knee and foot are not in line. So try to keep your knee over the heel and bring your body down. Make like a lizard, sunning yourself on warm earth. Merge with the form. Become one with the lizard. Now coming back onto the hands. From here, scooch the left knee in. Okay, I'll do it this way so you can see. And then see if you can bring the right shoulder, move your seats back, you can bring the right shoulder in behind the knee. Push with the back, in front of the shoulder into the back of the knee. And see if you can open up a little bit. Maybe you can take the left arm up. Okay, so from here, if you want, you can lift the back knee up. And the back foot flattens. And if you have more strength still, you have to kind of lean back. Your seat goes back so your leg can just wrap around the upper arm. The foot can come off the ground. Then from here, you push into the back of the knee. You send the foot up. And your left arm goes up. So I'm not in the ideal position. I'm running out of space here. But from here, maybe if you have the ability to bind, you can do that as well. Okay, so push the shoulder into the back of the knee. This is again for advanced practitioners. If you know this form, go ahead. And then from here, release. Bring the left hand down. The right foot comes down. And move the foot in. Parivita Pashvakonasana. Left arm up. Anchor the leg in place. Turn the toes and knee towards the left in the same line. Same orientation. Again, see if you can rest the back of the arm. The armpit rests on the outside of the knee. Right hand pushes into your left and push down. So sometimes this happens. Don't stay like this. Push into your hands, the body comes up higher. The belly comes to your thigh, above your thigh, and then roll the right shoulder all the way back. If you want to take a bind, you bring your seat back, create more space between the foot and the seat, so you have more room. This way, you have to get your arm down very low, your arm to the outside the knee. You use your right hand to guide the hand underneath. There's more space for the hand to slip underneath. Right arm goes over the back. Pull the hand out from underneath a little bit more, and then you can either join your hands in a finger lock or left hand holds the right wrist. Push the back knee up if you can. Hold the breath. Pull the right shoulder all the way back. Try to imagine you're lying on the beach on your back. It's eventually how the pose will look when you're fully rotated. Break the pose. Bring your hands back down. Into plank. Lower the knees down. And from here, come into child's pose for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Okay, so now coming up. Vasistas, another round. So another thing you can do, and I'll try to do it this way so you can see. We're going to make our way into downward facing dog first. And then we're going to, I'd like to start from downward facing dog because your hips remain high. Your left hand moves towards the right to start. You come into Vasistasana as you always do. And from here, you keep spinning. Slide the right toes back. And then turn your left foot. The foot's at 45 degrees and pull it in a little bit. You make sure the base of the big toe is grounded. That's why you pull the foot in and you push your hip forward and up. Left arm, remember, stays strong. And from here, you might be able to take, I need to get a little bit on the mat so I don't slip, but you try to get your base of the big toe down so you can have more balance. Take the right knee up eventually, catch the knee, or maybe the foot. Okay, so you can try this if you like, or do the same expressions as you did before. Go ahead. Try it on your left hand. The left foot first, turn to the right. You can
stay in this form. You can bring the left knee down, and you may still get a lot of openness in this pose with your left knee down. If you want to experiment, take your right leg up and maybe take hold of the foot. So again, just explore your creativity. Allow the breath to expand you. Allow the Guru who's residing within to guide you and expand your mind. Open up your mind and your heart. Offer it up. From here, release, go to the other side. So starting down facing dog again. Move the right hand to your left. Spin towards the left. Make sure you spin the left foot so the toes are turned at 45 degrees, pointed towards the back corner of the mat. Lift your hip forward, up and forward. Push it forward. Stay on the base of the big toe. Keep it rooted down. Make sure the inner edge of the foot doesn't come up so you don't lose your balance. The moment that the foot becomes unstable, the rest of the body is affected. Break the pose. Come down again softly. Keep your left arm fully, your right arm fully extended, your hip high, and make your way to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now coming forward into plank. Lower the right knee down, swing the toes out towards the left, and bring the left knee in behind it. Tuck it underneath, inside it, and then swing your right leg out, your left leg out towards the right. So your knees are one lined up, one on top of the other. Sit between your heels, not on the feet. If this is too much, you can't get both sides of your seat down, you can either sit on a block or lean to your left and just bring your left leg forward. Just try to still keep your knees aligned. Okay, so Super Gomukhasana here. Raise your right leg up, right arm up, and then take hold of the elbow with your left hand, push it up, and push it back behind your head. Anchor the arm in place at the back of the head. The fingers walk down the center of the back between the shoulder blades. If you can, if you have the shoulder mobility, you can take your left arm up your back and join your hands together. Now tug on the hands so they come down. Lower, lift the chest. Try to get your elbows eventually come centered, like the head centered between the elbows in one line, coincident with the spine. Lift the chest, lift the gaze without hardening your eyes, without creating tension in your face. Keep your face soft. Give the impression of ease, and then this might translate into ease that you feel as well. Now, if you can, without lifting your seat up, if you can, come forward. The belly comes onto your thighs, perhaps. If you pull on your hands a little bit more, extend your elbow a little bit more, you might be able to get your elbow to the ground. Your chin is just, your throat's just resting on your knee, your chin's over the knee, hanging over the knee. And then coming back up. And release. So now we'll try it on the other side. So lift your seat up. And then from here, if you can, you're not traveling at all, you're walking, you're spinning on your hands and your feet, you're walking your hands, you spin on your feet, you walk your hands all the way around. Keep them close to the feet until you're facing forward again, and then lower down. If this is not working, just come into the pose and bring your other leg over. So you come into plank, your left knee goes down first, and your right knee comes in behind. Feet go to the sides. Again, you sit between your feet. Make sure both sides of the seat are anchored down. Left arm up. Take hold of the elbow and push it up and back behind your head. Lift up the chest. Push into the heart from behind and underneath so that the heart lifts like you're making a gift of it, an offering. And if you like, bring the right arm up the back. See if you can join your hands together. Know your limitations. Don't go to the place of pain, suffering, anxiety, or distress. Remember that how you're feeling is affecting everybody to an extent. So you try to find the ideal balance of strength and drive an effort with softness and surrender, so you don't, again, you give the ideal balance, and you deliver the best of the experience. Now from here, you can see if you can come forward. Try not to lift your seat up off the ground. You can bring your elbow down a little bit beside your left side of the head, and see if you can get your elbow right to the ground. Your shoulder blades or your upper back is widening. Maybe your throat's on your knee. Your chin is hanging over the knee. And coming back up. And release. Okay, so now from here, headstand. If you know how to get in a headstand, go ahead. I happen to have a couch here, so that might be good for demonstrating what you can do to just try to come into the pose. Okay, so if you know how to get into headstand, like again, go ahead. If you want to try, imagine this can be also a wall. So you place your feet right against the edge of the wall or the couch or whatever you have. Your elbows are close to your knees, elbows underneath the shoulders. And then bring your hands forward. Don't move your elbows, just interlace your fingers and place your head down. You can also do this with your head a little bit up if it's too much to have your head on the ground. And here you can bring your right foot onto the wall. Imagine this is the wall or the couch. And see if you can bring your other leg back behind. Try to have the foot hanging close to the ground as possible. Allow the foot to drop. Imagine it's like a fruit hanging from a tree. And from here, you can see if you can bend your toes back. Eventually, maybe you can take your foot up off the wall. You pull your toes away from the wall or whatever you have, your chair or your couch, whatever you have. Squeeze the hand against the side of the head, heels your palms. That you find a balance. So again, try to keep your legs very bent. If your legs are straight, it's a little bit hard to keep your balance, and your legs will throw you off balance. So keep your body more compact when you're starting, when you're trying to, when you're beginning in this pose. And then it'll be a little bit easier to keep the form and the balance. Now wherever you are, keep your attention on the space between the eyebrows if you can. If you're comfortable in the pose, leave the body by itself. Concentrate on the space between the eyebrows. You can also bring both feet, keep them on the couch if you like, or the wall. Just like this, try to have your seat over your shoulders. Make sure you're not too far away from the wall, so you shouldn't be stretching to find the wall with your leg. You need to have a little bit of give so that you can pull your toes away with ease. Otherwise you're always reaching and you might not be in the right alignment. So make sure you're close enough to the wall so you have that give. Your knee should be able to bend and still touch the wall, foot touching the wall. So a little bit longer, flex the toes to keep your leg muscles, your core muscles engaged. All these little tricks, little subtle little things make the world of difference. And then come down. Okay, so if you're on a wall, just climb your way back down and then come back into child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Now roll your way back up. Shoulder stand. So easiest way to come into the shoulder stand is to come to the front of the mat and roll back. Okay, so again, I'm not sure if I have any room, but just imagine my legs are straight. And from here, bring your legs up, push into your arms. So if you're starting again, you can just push into your arms. Try to get your seat up bit by bit, maybe do it 5 times. Push into your arms, hold your breath, and see if you can get your seat up higher each time. Eventually come right onto your shoulders. And then your feet can go behind your head. Now move your shoulders in a little bit, as behind your back, as to say. Try to get your hands together so that your wrists come together and your elbows are close from the front. If you're looking from the front, you won't be able to see your arms. And bring your hands onto your back as hard as you can. Elbows stay close to one another. And see if you can bring one leg up. Take your time to get your leg up as high as you can. So the toes and chin are in the same line, and then your other leg comes up, you find a straighter line. If it's too much, your elbows are not sort of on the side of the body, your legs can stay at an angle like this. If it's still too much, you can bring just sit on your hands, your wrists with your legs straight up. You can do this against the wall. You come right against the wall. It's like this, your hips against the wall, then you turn, and then your hands, fingers are pressing into the wall, perhaps against the wall, and then you bring your feet up. This isn't, again, this chair is a little bit too low, but you try to get your hips up, so eventually my legs are like this. So imagine my feet on a wall like this, the hips and knees are the same line. It's kind of hard to demonstrate with this arrangement here, but this is the idea. Okay, so go ahead into the pose. If it's better for you to stay in plow pose, maybe it's close to the shoulders, you can do this as well. Find where you find steadiness. Those you have a lotus, take your lotus. It makes the pose even more powerful. It makes the mind one-pointed. And if your shoulders are right on the tips of your shoulders, you can maybe take your hands to your thighs, whether your legs are straight or in lotus. Try to have your knees in the same line, higher than the hips if you're doing a Padmasana. Again, take your attention to the base of the eyebrows. Go inward beyond the body, the mind, and emotions. You can bring your thighs down against your body. If you know the full pose, Pindasana, you wrap your arms around the outside of the legs, join your hands just below the seat. If you don't have a lotus, come back to plow. Bring your feet down. Walk your feet as far away from your head as possible to get the full back stretch. And then eventually, if you like, you can bring your thighs down onto the shoulders. The thighs come onto the chest and belly, your knees come beside your head on your shoulders. This allows you to go deeper within, shut out the mind, shut out the distractions coming from the ears and the eyes. You can either stay here. Those who want can walk your feet over to your left. And see if you can bring the knee right down. You have to kind of lift your right shoulder a little bit. You might be able to get your right knee right down to the ground as well. Coming to twist. And come back. This is an option again. If you have many neck or shoulder injuries, just stay in plow or whatever modification you're doing. If you want, go to the other side now. Walk your feet over to the right. You have to push into your right shoulder, lift your left shoulder up off the ground so you can get your knee down on the ground beside your right shoulder on the outside. Use your left hand to help if you like. Try to get your right knee down, your left knee down, sorry. And walk back into plow pose. Now from here, make your way down. Keep your legs as close to the body as possible as you're making your transition back down. Once your feet are down, bring your legs down. So your hands are behind your back. I have to do it this way. Okay, so once your hands are on the seat, you can see if you can suspend your legs halfway up, 45 degrees. And then from here, lift your back up off the ground. You're sitting on your hands, your wrists, your palms are down. Push your elbows in a little bit, just behind your back. Push your chest up. Allow the head to go down, the top of the head. Keep your legs charged. If it's too much, bring your legs all the way down to the ground. And now, Vastrika breath. Breathe very fast and nose against the V dog. If your legs are up, bring the feet down, close to your seat, edge of the feet in line with your hips. Keep your head where it is. Take your hands out from underneath. Bring your fingertips beside your head. This is again, for those who can, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Lift your hips up off the ground, your seat. Slide your head in a little bit closer towards your feet. Turn your hands around so the fingers are winged out to the side, but pointing towards your heels. And if you can, take a breath in and lift your head up off the ground. You can come off your heels if you like. If it's too much, you stay in bridge. Your shoulders in the back on the mat. Lift your hips up.
And try to push your chest towards your chin as much as possible. So you still get working the upper back. Okay, so again, whichever one you want to do.
You can keep your head on the ground the whole time if you like. Or lift your head up. Imagine yourself in the pose. It's a very good pose for the nervous system, the circulatory system, for creating strength and suppleness in the spine. Push your chest forward like you're trying to get to the wall in front of you. Stay up if you can. Dharma says, sometimes it's good to hold the pose until you shake. And then come down. Try not to wait until you're exhausted. Come down so you can come down gracefully. From here, relax, breathe in, legs can extend, breathe out. Good. Now from here, roll up into seated or turn onto one side, come up into seated position. Paschimottanasana. Bring your legs out in front. If you have very tight hamstrings, you can keep your knees bent a little bit. Bring your arms up and pull the body down onto your legs. Either hug your legs to the body if you're very tight, the hips. You just take your opposite elbow and just push your chest forward towards the knees. Try to land your belly on your thighs and keep your belly attached to your legs. If you're more flexible, you can get your legs straight. Don't waste your time. Go ahead, straighten your legs. Keep your body attached to the legs. You can even reach behind your feet and take hold of your one wrist. Keep on imagining the chest moving forward beyond the knees, the top of the head, reaching towards the top of the feet, the insteps. All the attention at the base of the spine. Your attention there may attract all the blood there, feel it circulating around. Imagine that as the energy trying to make its way up the spine. Coming back up. Good. So from here, we're going to lean to your, bring the right knee in a little bit, lean to the right, and bring the left leg behind, lean to pigeon. So now if you can, your heels on the same line as the knee, you rock from side to side. Try to get both sides of the hip down. So you want to try to pour more weight into your left hip. If it's too much, you can bring your foot closer in towards the hip. The left hip. Now then you hold on to your left foot, you take your left hand to your right foot and glide the right arm forward. And then maybe when your chest comes down onto your leg, you can bring your left arm forward. Eventually your leg is close to your collarbone. Your chest is on your shin. Back, walk hands back, swing your left leg around, and from here, take your shoulder in front of the knee. Left hand comes beside your hip, and see if you can bring your forehead to the, your heel to the forehead. You had to push with the back of the arm, the shoulder into the back of the knee. And from here, you might be able to lift your heels straight up, straighten your leg, walk your hand a little bit further back, beside your hip a little bit, and behind. Those you can take hold, bring your hand across the front. You can stretch out the right leg if you like. Okay, and then lean into it. If you're very flexible, you can just keep pushing your knee back further, your left leg further back behind your shoulder. If you tuck your chin in, pull a foot a little back and towards the right, so you might be able to get your foot behind the head. Do according to your abilities, limitations. And from there, from compass pose, which we're doing, you can either hang your leg over the left arm, close to the shoulder, hug your leg, your knee against the shoulder, lean forward, and then see if you can push into your hands and lift your seat up, and then hold your breath so you can get your left foot up off the ground. Now, the easier way to come is to lean back, see if you can take the right foot across, hook the ankles together, push into your hands, and then you might be able to lift your seat up a little bit easier with your legs crossed. Eventually you can stretch your legs out in front, Astavakrasana. Your body's floating level to the ground. And then release. Now try it on the other side. So from here, how do we start? So the right leg up. Oh yes, I remember. Now we have to start in pigeon. So lean to your left leg folds in front, right leg goes back. Again, shift a little bit from side to side. Try to get the right hip to anchor down. Pull the heel in towards the root, the right hip if you need to. And eventually take your hand, right hand to the foot, slide forward. Your left shoulder comes onto your left knee, your left armpit. And then perhaps the right arm can come forward as well. Stretch it out. Keep pulling your body forward, lengthen. And with this, pose the eyes down, cast the head down, making the expression again of surrendering, of being humble. Good. And then come back, drop your hands back. Lean to your left, you can take the right leg out in front, you can stretch your left leg out now, and take your right shoulder in front of the knee, the back of the leg. And push into the back, the leg back behind you. Try to get your heel to your forehead. You want to push into the back knee so the knee comes close to the ear. Good. And then from here, you can see if you can push the heel right up. If you have a strap, you can wrap your strap around the foot and try to straighten your leg as much as possible. So imagine holding a strap. The strap is wrapped around the foot and you just pull. Okay, so otherwise, you turn your fingers outwards. Your hand goes a little bit behind the right hip, and those you can take your hand across the front of the foot. And then lean back a little bit, open it up. Try not to hunch down like this. This sometimes happens. Try to push into the back of the knee and telescope your body about the hips. Open it up into compass pose. And those of you again who have the flexibility, you want to push your knee back as far back behind the body as possible. And then push the foot back further behind your head, tuck your chin in, pull the foot towards the left. And the foot might come more easily behind your head. Go ahead if you know how to get into the pose. Make sure you try to keep your chest up, your back as straight as possible. Here, release the leg, hang it over the arm, close to the shoulder, really hug the knee against the outside of the shoulder. Lean forward, your fingers roughly in line with the back of the knee. Push into the ground and then hold your breath. Straighten your arms. The seat might come up. You have to engage root muscles, Mula Bandha. And from here, See if you can lift your left foot up off the ground. If this is too much, lean back. Use your left hand to maybe see if you can drop the left ankle on top of the other one, and hook the feet together. And then from here, push forward again into your hands, lean forward, and see if you can just straighten your arms. Your shoulders come over your fingertips. Your seat comes up a little bit, maybe more easily, and then if you want, you can lower your chest. Hips and head stay in the same line. And then release. Good. Now cross your ankles. Make your way onto your back, onto your front. Bending the back the other way now. Forehead on hands, breathe in. Breathe out. Now you can start in Sphinx pose. Take hold of the edge of the mat just as we did before. Pull on the mat, lift your chest up. The hips and the thighs and the tops of the feet anchor down. Stay heavy through the lower body. Drop your shoulders. Make like a sphinx that stands the test of time over all those thousands of years that they've been staying there. Push down through the forearms. Push the chest forward. Eventually you can lift your elbows up off the ground. See if you can bring your head back. Curve your spine. Make a C shape in your spine. Letter C, and then gradually walk your hands closer and closer to the body, come up higher. Maybe eventually the hands come close to the hips. Pull your elbows in toward the side of the body. Imagine that top of the head going over your seat. The feet together like the tail of a snake. The feet sometimes tend to fly apart, but the inner edges of the feet, try to bring them together. Or at least the big toes, the base of the toes. Lower down slowly and relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Now for those who want, we're going to do it again. King Cobra, Rajakapatasana. So if you're doing Rajakapatasana, you want to try it, bring your hands closer. So your heels, your palms are in line to the heart, the bottom of the heart to start. Roll the shoulders back. Make your way up. Scooch forward. Okay, so then you try to get most of the body from the thighs, tops of your legs right up. Think about getting height. Bring your head up high. This is when your feet are separated. Now come onto your fingertips. Try to get your fingertips as close to your hips as possible. In front of your hips. Keep on, imagine your spine lengthening. Bring your head back and then bend your knees, point your toes. Imagine holding socks behind your knees. You want them to fall away from the out. And then push into fingertips. Lean back a little bit. Maybe your toes eventually touch the head. Break the pose. Come down, lower down the same way. Forehead on hands, breathe in, breathe out. Good, one more pose of your choice, either cobra or bow pose. Any bow you like. So reach one arm on front and take your other foot up. So if your right arm's in front, you take your left leg up, you hold the ankle, and once you have the ankle, pull up on the leg so that, and hold your breath, you can take your other leg up, and then come up. Try to pull on the legs, try to get up higher. You can rock a little bit on your belly if you like. Eventually, if you look up, if you pull on the feet hard enough, you might be able to see your toes. If you can even roll all the way back, find your way onto your thighs, your knees on the ground. Again, come up again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, hands underneath the shoulders, push your way back into seated position. Adho Matsyendrasana. So you can either do the full pose, lean to your left, bring your left leg, bend the leg so the foot's beside your right hip, and then the right foot comes to the outside of the left knee. If your hips are not both down, you can bring the left leg forward and slide your right foot forward so that's beyond your knee, somewhere between the knee and the ankle. I'll demonstrate this one first. Left hand right against the seat, center the back. Left arm up and push the forearm against the outer thigh. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. Try to visualize the spine spiraling. Imagine you can see right through your skin. And maybe if you can see your spine spiraling, your body will turn more. It's not just the eyes that turn, the whole torso turns. Eventually your chin goes over the back shoulder. Your chest might be facing the back end of the mat. If your legs are crossed, if your legs are left leg is folded under, you can take hold of the heel, your left heel with your left hand. Pull on the foot, on the heel, maybe you'll be able to go a little bit deeper. Keep your back straight, push the lower back up and in. Then break the pose. Change legs around. Either with the right leg extended or folded in. Left hand right against back, so don't lean back. Keep the shoulders over the hips. Right arm up. And go to the other side. Push the lower back up and in. Turn to your left. Push the elbow into the knee into elbow. And then come back. Now rest on your back in Shavasana. So make your way gently down. No big heavy thuds on the ground. Just open up your feet and make your way down on your back. Shavasana is where you allow the process of purification to take place. Just imagine that with the inhale, you're attracting all of the impurities where they reside in a body. In your being, they exist at all levels. The physical level, they manifest through tension and feeling of tightness or blockages, restrictions, and any ailments. Imagine you're bringing them all to the center. Exhale, drop them right out of the body. Let them just funnel out. Imagine a great big funnel sitting underneath you. And then just allowing it all to just slip down into it, out of the way, out of your being. Now, the mental impurities, all those thoughts that disturb you, all those experiences that you perceive as negative, that bring you into a place of distress, anxiety, or negativity. Attract those all again. Collect them all together. Exhale, just drop them out. Included them. Do this again another time. All those perceptions that you tend to cling to. Remove all the attachments, the mental attachments, all those thoughts that you are 100% sure that you are right, but they inhibit you as well. Remain or try to cultivate openness, receptiveness. So free your mind so that you can be open to all the perspectives, all the experiences that help you in some way to grow and to evolve. Now
just take a scan of the emotions, and if you find any negative ones, fear, doubt, anger, again, all those that take away from your contentment, take away even from your ability to exercise the ethical rules, yama and yama, to the fullest extent. Compassion, boundless and unconditional compassion and love towards all. Like those as well. Exhale, allow it to funnel right out. Leave yourself like an open vessel now, light, much lighter now, having had rid of yourself of all that. Those impurities. So that you're more receptive to receive all the knowledge that you need to attain self-realization. Ultimately, you really have to just remember to do good, to be good, to keep on doing better, to be better, do the best you can, be the best that you can. And then you'll attract all the good circumstances, the good karma. And you'll also be armed with those tools that help you to remove those patterns that cause you to land back in a place of suffering and pain. And you learn also to continue to be the witness, watching all of it unfold without judgment, without being disturbed by it, without being affected. Now prepare to take this out into your day-to-day life. Prepare to sit. Doing so in a mindful and gentle and a silent way, in a reverent way. And once you're seated, sit tall and supreme, an acknowledgement of the intention to continue to spread love, peace, and compassion towards all. Making compassion a driving force behind all action, thought, and word. Close the practice with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within, send it to all beings everywhere. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining.